Good morning to one and all. In this tutorial I will talk about the Python for beginner. So first of all, before we begin with Python, let me tell you very quickly how can you install Python in your desktop. If you have Windows PC or whether you have Mac PC, there are two ways. One way is to go to the Python official sites, but the problem with that is if you download the Python from the official site, then as you are, of course, you are not learning for your own interest, you are learning for some kind of application, of course, and then in your application you may require specific libraries for your task, and for that then you have to download again from the pypi repository, and then you have to again install library and so on. So what people have done is they have consolidated a large number of libraries and built a very big package, and that package is known as Anaconda, and there are several other packages also like WinPython. So if you are in Windows system, then my recommendation is you can download WinPython also or Anaconda also. This is an exe file, so it will install just by clicking on it. Otherwise, if you are on Linux, then you search on Google Anaconda Python, and then this, anyway, regardless of whatever distribution you choose, the concept is similar. So why I was saying WinPython for Windows is because WinPython has large number of libraries as compared to Anaconda, especially TensorFlow, machine learning are included in WinPython. But if you use Anaconda, then and if you do also machine learning, then TensorFlow you have to separately install, and many libraries that you may have to install separately. Okay, so why I'm not finding this Anaconda Python? So yes, here you can install. Yeah. So here there are Anaconda installer for Mac and Linux and Windows as well. So here you can install the Anaconda distribution, and it's very simple to install. In Linux you have to run the shell script bash anaconda.sh, nothing much to explain here. And once you install, then you open a terminal and write the command Jupyter Notebook, and then a notebook, then your browser will open like this. I have opened this browser, okay, and in browser you open a file, new notebook Python 3, and you can name this. So this is a Jupyter Notebook, and the reason why I'm using this notebook is because input and output can be shown on one place, and it's very interactive. In a very interactive way this can be shown. Okay, so let me tell you a quick introduction to Jupyter Notebook. These area are called cells. In that we can run so many lines of code, whatever you want, or we can run only single command. So whatever you written here, once you hit Ctrl plus enter, the code will be executed and the output, and this cell is output cell, and the output of cell will be displayed here. You can add more cell to here like this, and you can delete these cells also. So it's very interactive, very nice, very fast. So I recommend also you to do work on Jupyter Notebook. If you are beginner, then it will be you will learn very fast. This GUI Spider is also good, but I have completely switched over from Spider to Jupyter. The reason you see by yourself. If you do things on Jupyter Notebook, then it will be much better. Okay, so let's quickly start our first class, Python for beginners. So what is Python? Python is a dynamically typed interpreted programming language. Interpreted means you don't need to compile your code. You write, you run the code, and output will appear code executed line by line. So let's not go into much of the details, and for beginners you don't need to know much about the intricacies of compilers, programming and all of that. You just start practicing. Practice makes a man perfect. The more you practice, the more you become adept at programming. Or not only programming, this philosophy can be extended to anything we learn. Okay, so now let's start. So the first thing we learn in any programming language is print hello world. So in Python, the printing the hello world is very simple. You just write print and here you write hello world in quotations. You run this and hello world appear. Now the next thing come to learn for beginner is using Python as a calculator. So you can use just like you use calculator, you can write some calculations. Okay, for example, I want to multiply this by 3 and then divide whole thing into 6 plus 8, and let's say 8 to the power 2. So any sorts of calculation you can perform by using Python as a calculator. Okay, now we come to data types. So there are 5 or 6 data types you mainly see in Python which are important for you. First is integer. Integer is simple, 12. Okay, so how do you know this is integer? There is a built-in function in Python for which you can literally know what this is. So that name of the function is type. You write type of 12. This is integer. Okay. Now there comes another data type, that is floating point number. All numbers which are in decimals are known as floating point numbers. So this has come as float. Okay. Now there is third data type is string. String is you write anything, that any kind of text you can say. So if you write in text, like I write here Python, so this is the kind of string. This is the type string. Now here comes the another type, that is known as boolean. Boolean can be either true or false. So that is the type bool. Okay, these 4 types are enough. And what's other type in Python that not present in other languages are this list. This is a type list. I will explain later what are list. So just for the sake of clarity, I show you. This is list, and if I show this bracket, these are tuple, and if I show this medium bracket, these are the dictionary. So list, tuple, dictionary, that are the other new elements. So let's come to what are list. List are the, as the definition suggests, as the name suggests in English language, list are basically the list of items. So what are items? Items can be any data type, any of integer, float, list, text. So let's not make things complicated here. I show very simple example of a list like this: 1 2 3 4 5. This is a list, and list of 5 numbers. And now I can say list can be, the items of list can be any data types. So when I say any data types, then I can have string with list also, and I can have floating point numbers, and even I can have list within a list. Okay, so these are list within a list. Now let's come to another data type, that is tuple. Tuple is same as list. If I just copy this list and paste here, what I change is just change the braces. I changed this small bracket, and now if I run this will be tuple. Now let's come to dictionaries. Dictionaries are basically two things, key and value. So the symbol of dictionary is this. Key can be any variable and value can be also be any variable. So if I want to write, suppose, language, and my native language is Hindi, okay. Now we write programming language, and that is Python. So this is a dictionary. These are the key and this is the value. So the key value pair of a thing is known as dictionaries. What are the use of these dictionaries? You will come to know as you practice more and more, and it will be better if you realize by yourself what are the importance. You will get to know. This is the first tutorial, so here and this dictionary is considered a little advanced topic, so we will not dive into much in that. So list, tuple, dictionaries, and now I have shown you one built-in function type. Let me show you another built-in function that is known as dir. So dir shows all the methods that a data type has. Python is an object-oriented programming language. So every data types is basically an object. And what is object? Objects are the bundle of data plus methods. So what are the methods associated with object and what are the methods associated with variables and data? We can check those methods via this dir function. For example, dir of list will tell you all the methods that is available with list. We can append element in list, clear, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove. But these methods are not available in tuples. If I write this dir of tuple, then you can say that these are not available. Okay. So earlier I wrote things like this. What does this mean actually? This means a list, but there are no elements in this list. So this is an empty list. How do you know there are 0 elements in this list? So this is a function, length. Length of this list will be equal to 0. Okay. Now let's say I put some elements in this. Now what will be the length? It will be 5. Okay. So dir covered, length covered, and now we come to another function, range. Suppose I want to make a list of 5 numbers. I can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if I want to make a list of 100 numbers, so one method is I can keep go on and on and on and so up to 100, but that will be a very boring work, repetitive work, data entries sort of things. So we don't want to do that. So for that, Python give us a function that is called range. You can simply write range 100. And now since we want a list of this, then we can write list. Now here is a catch. If when we run this function, you will notice that numbers will not start from 1, it will start from 0 and it will go up to 99, not 100. So the rule of Python is always the index start with 0, and suppose we have n numbers in list, then it will go up to n minus 1. These are the very different from MATLAB and other things. We will quickly see how this works. So what can I do for this writing 1 to 100? I can simply write range of 1 comma this. So now it will start from 1 and it will go up to n minus 1. So 100 minus 1, it will go up to 100. Okay. So in this way we can write a list of n numbers. Now we learn about indexing. What is the indexing? So before all we start indexing, I let you know about one more thing. Till now I have been printing these variables like this, as it is, these numbers. But we want to store the results of these things. Currently the results are not stored in anything. We want to store the result, then we can define variables like x equal to this. So now output will not be displayed. Output is stored in the variable x. So when I write x, then it will be shown. Okay. Now we come to indexing. So we know x equal to this. I want to access the first element of this. Then I have to write x of 0, capital bracket 0. So index start from 0, not 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I write x of 7, then I get this list. And further, since this is a list, then I can further access each element also. So suppose I want to access this third number, so I have to write 0, 1, 2. X 7, 2 will be equal to 3. So these are the indexing. And just as list, the tuples can also be indexed. What about dictionaries? In dictionaries, index are manual. So like we save this variable as xd and we print what is the xd. So unlike list, I cannot write xd 0 will be this or 0 will be this. So if I want to access this Hindi, then I have to write xd here, language. So you can think of that this dictionary as a manual index. Here the index was automatic. Okay, for example, x of 3 will be 4, but here xd of 3 you will get an error because 3 is not an index, so it will show key error. Okay, so we have learned indexing also. Now we come to, and we have also learned range function. So now we come to if conditional statement, if. Okay, so I define a variable x equal to 10. Okay, now I write if x greater than 5, then print yes, x is really great. Okay. So now what will be the output? It will check the condition. If x greater than 5, then it will print x is really great. Now I can write else statement also. Else print x is ordinary. Okay. So now because x is 10, now x is really great. Suppose you watch a movie and movie was not good, you give it a 2 star, then you can write movie is ordinary. Okay, so that's the if conditional statement. And now we come to loop, for loop. In programming there are some tasks that we have to do it again and again. Okay, so we need to run something in sequence. And now the thing about Python is the for loop can be run on any iterables. Okay, so it can be run on x also. So I will show you one very simple example for I in A, B, C. Print I. So it will print A, B, C in a way. So these things can be any iterables. These things can be any iterables means collection of items. So these things can be this list also. I have already defined this as x, so I can write here x also. For I in x, print I. Why is showing an error? Let's see what the x was. X equal to 2. The definition of x has changed here, so the 2 cannot be iterated. So this will learn a new thing for us. For now I define this x1 and I redefine x as this again. Now you will see this for loop will not give error. Okay, so now it has print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like this. Okay. Now one basic thing I want to show you also, that what is the basic difference between how the operations happen in string and numbers. So what is the difference between this one and this one? Okay, this one is a string, this one is an integer and this one is a string. What's the difference between integer and string? You will show by this. 1 plus 1 equal to 2, but if you here write 1 plus 1, it will be 11, not 2. There is a famous proverb in Hindi, ek aur ek 11. So it's something like this. So it means string also this operations apply, but here this will not apply. I hope so. There is 0, but it will give type error. So string only support plus, and this plus means simply concatenation. So suppose you write pi and you write here thun. So this will become Python. Okay, and now you save this variable as a. And one more thing, you can index the string also. If I want to access the p of Python, then I can write a of 0 will be equal to p, and also I can run all operation on a, like I want to know the length of a. Length of a will be equal to 6. So there are 6 characters in Python. And what is the type of a? Type of a will be string. Okay. So in this tutorial you have learned so many things. As a beginner, this, I hope this will be enough for you into the first class. It will take time. Don't get intimidated by these complex data types or for loops, as you will do by yourself. In this you can simply write x plus 2, x plus 6. You experiment by yourself and you will get to know that if this error is coming, why this error is coming, because cannot concatenate list integer to list. X is a list, so you cannot concatenate a list, so this will be number. Now for this I got to know about one more thing. List plus list can be added. Suppose I have list 1 plus 2 plus 3 and then I want to add another list 4 and 5, then this will be 1 2 3 4 5. So these logics are very simple. Once you practice this, you will get to more and more about these logics. Okay, and at last I will show you the program for printing the number 1 to 100. It's very simple in Python. For you can just write for I in range 1 to 101, print I, so it show 1 to 100. So like this you try to do some experiment, some sort of experiment. Don't be afraid, because there will not be a blast if you make some error in Python. Okay, so keep experimenting, and we learn by experiment.